We've looked at two methods for storing and reusing document content. One, saving pieces in individual Word files, and two, saving them in an Excel spreadsheet. The third method uses a feature in Word known as building blocks. A building block is a piece of formatted content stored in a hidden place inside the document template. If you're a Word user, you've probably already used building blocks without realizing it. Every time you insert a page number, or a text box, or a cover page design, that's a building block. You can also create your own building blocks and store them inside your template. Building blocks can contain formatted text, shapes, pictures, anything you can put in a Word document. Let's say in my company we have a formal review process that every proposal has to go through before I can send it out to the client. I'm required to include several different document control tables at the front of my proposal, where people put their initials after they review it. I previously built those document control tables in Word and then saved each one as a named building block inside my template. Now when I'm creating a proposal based on that template, those building blocks are available to me using this built-in menu button called Quick Parts. I can scroll through the different tables that are available, click one, and it will be inserted into the document wherever my cursor is at that moment. You may have noticed when I was using the Quick Parts button that there were a lot of other different kinds of building blocks. For example, here I've created building blocks for each of my company executives that might sign a letter, including their scanned signature, name, and title. I use these for letters that we'll be sending by email instead of hard copy. So say I'm going along typing a letter and I get to the end where I want to put my signature. I just hit Quick Parts, find the closing block I want, and pull it into the bottom of my letter. No cutting or pasting from old letters, no hunting around for the folder where we keep the digital signatures. It's just there when I need it. Because you can store a large number of building blocks in a single template, you can quickly get to the point where it would be cumbersome to try to choose them from a Quick Parts list. In that case, we can create a menu button that lets you first select one category of building blocks and then pick the one you want from that more focused list. Here's what that might look like. On my Quick Parts gallery, I had dozens of building blocks in different categories. But if I use this button, I can say I only want to look at those document control tables that I was using before. Then it's easier to find the one I want. Now, one disadvantage of this is I don't get to preview them graphically like I did in the Quick Parts gallery. But in cases where that's not important, this may be a good way to go. Another category I have here under Quick Parts is Content, where I have boilerplate content paragraphs. It's kind of hard to find what you need, especially if these get long, and you can only insert them one at a time. So I'm going to make that easier by, again, putting just this one category of building blocks into a list builder. This boilerplate selector button on my toolbar opens a dialog box, which pulls in the list of content paragraphs. I highlight the pieces I want to use and reorder them here on the right. This looks a lot like some of the dialog boxes I showed in my first video, but the difference is these chunks of content are being pulled from hidden building blocks inside of this template, rather than separate little Word documents that live on the network. These are both good ways to do it, and they look pretty much the same to the user, but under the hood it's a different approach to content management. Here's one last method that combines building blocks with content controls, which I'll be talking about more in my next video. Earlier, I showed how we could be typing a letter, and then when we get to the end, we go to Quick Parts and find the closing block we want to stick in. We can make that one click easier by putting a drop-down content control built right into the letter template here at the end where I would usually insert the closing signature block. This content control is pointed at that one category of hidden building blocks in the template. So when I hit the drop-down arrow, I see only the closing signature blocks. My choice gets inserted right here into the content control. In my next video, I'll be talking more about Word content controls, which allow us to do some pretty sophisticated automation.